An Introduction to Google Analytics. This is part of our SEO for Beginners series. My name is Sam, and we are talking about tracking and measuring SEO performance. So in this video, we're going to give a high-level overview of Google Analytics. I want to touch on some of the key terminology, things to be aware of, key metrics to be tracking, and how that can impact your SEO performance. And it goes beyond SEO to your general digital marketing performance. So first, what is Google Analytics? It is a free tool that Google offers that tracks and reports website traffic and user behavior on your website. So you can see how many people are coming to your website, you can see how they got to your website, you can see what they're doing once they get on your website, and then you can use that to help refine your SEO strategy, but also your broader marketing strategy. Very quickly, we'll have a separate video that actually walks through this, but steps to set up your Google Analytics account, or Google Analytics in general. First, you need a Google account, and then you want to create a Google Analytics account. So if you go to analytics.google.com, you can sign up there. Then you will need to set up a Google Analytics 4 or GA4 property. About a year and a half ago, Google officially ended Universal Analytics, which was basically Google Analytics 3, and moved to Google Analytics 4. So you want a Google Analytics 4 property. Once you have that, you will then get some code that you can add to your website. This basically connects your site to Google Analytics and sends data over there. I typically would recommend using a plugin to do this. If you're on a WordPress site, you can use Google Sitekit. You can use a number of SEO plugins, Rank Math, Yoast. There's other specific just plugins for this, where it allows you to add code to your website. If you're on Squarespace or Wix or Shopify, they have tools built in where you can add your some information about your Google Analytics account that will connect it. Then once you get it all connected, you want to make sure that it's actually working. And so they have a real-time reports. It usually takes a little bit to get actually set up and running. At a minimum, I'd probably give it 30 minutes. I think they say it could take up to 48 hours. Normally what I do is I get it set up and then I'll come back the next day and check and make sure that it's working. So some key metrics in Google Analytics to be aware of. You have sessions and users. A session is a single visit to your website, and a user is a unique visitor. So if I came to your website today and then I came to your website again tomorrow and I say close out my browser and reopened it, I would be one user, one person, but then two sessions. In Google Analytics 4, they also have engaged sessions, and so that would be anyone that is on your website for over 10 seconds that has done a key event or that has visited 2 or more pages. That's considered an engaged session, and it's a better indicator of a good session. Typically, someone's on your website and they're doing things, and so they're spending more time there, as opposed to bot traffic, or if someone comes to your website and then hops off right away. You have page views. That's the total number of pages that are viewed. You have bounce rate. This is the people or users who come to your website or a session that starts and they only go on one page, and then they leave the website, so they're not going on to multiple pages. Traditionally, this is viewed as a bad thing. You don't want a high bounce rate, because that means a lot of people are coming to your site and leaving right away. But it is context dependent, and so sometimes if you have a landing page that you're wanting someone to sign up on a form, and they come to the website, they sign up on the form, and then they leave, technically that can get counted as a bounce because they didn't go to any other pages. But if they accomplished what you wanted them to accomplish, then it was a successful session. So just be mindful of bounce rate. That's not always a bad thing. You need to take the page in context. Average session duration. So this is how long users are spending on your website. Generally, the longer they're on your site, the better. They like the content. They're staying longer. You have traffic channels. This is a big one. This is where people are coming from. So is it organic search? Is it organic social? Is it paid search, paid social? Is it from email? Is it from referrals from other websites? And then you have landing pages, and those are going to be the pages that a user entered your site on. From an SEO perspective, this is a really important one because we want to know what pages are ranking well and that are actually driving users and ideally engaged users to the site. Now, there are lots and lots and lots of other metrics in Google Analytics. Those are just some key ones to be aware of. Here's a picture, a screen grab from an account that we work on. And you can see here, this is the last 28 days, so be mindful of your date range. This is in their traffic acquisition report. And then we're looking at the session primary channel group. It's the default way they group traffic. But you can see organic search and direct and referral and organic social. You can see sessions. So in this case, there's 32,000 sessions, 125. You can see engaged sessions. So this is probably a little bit more meaningful for us, but people that were on the site longer. Then you have your engagement rate. So that's like how of the sessions, how many of those were engaged. This can be helpful especially as you compare across traffic sources, where if you're noticing, hey, people that are coming through social media are engaging really high, that's helpful to know, and it may mean you want to put some more focus on social media. You have average engagement time, so how long they're on the page. You have how many events they're taking per session. This is going to be largely dependent on how, what events you're tracking. But again, you can dive really deep into all of this and then see, okay, like what has the highest engagement rate of traffic sources, how many events are happening. Right here, some of these higher event counts are somewhat interesting to me. I like the referral traffic where they're doing more things on the site. So anyway, it's a quick view of what one of the reports can look like. Viewing metrics in Google Analytics. I'm going to pull up my account here and just quickly run through some of the reports. So this is a brand new account, and so you can see there's not a whole lot of traffic on here. But if we look at reports, and then we can run through this. So you have a real-time view, which we're probably not going to see anything here. But if you had a website that was getting good traffic on it, and then you can see where people are coming from and how many active users you have on the site in 30 minutes, the last 5 minutes, and what pages they're on, and so forth. You have your acquisition reports, and so this is going to be largely where are people coming from, and so is it organic social, direct referral, organic search. You can see that by session, you can see it by user. That's again how people are getting to your site. You have then your engagement reports, and so this is going to show if you have different events that are set up. Now these are all default events, but then you can create new events and to see, specifically like if someone is filling out a form or clicking to call or landing on a thank you page. Those are all good events to be tracking. You can see the pages that people are spending time on. You can see the landing pages, so what page are they coming into the site for. That's all under engagement. You have monetization. This is typically going to be more on the e-commerce side, where people, if you can purchase things on your site, you can set it up so you're seeing that data come into here, and then you can see, okay, where are people coming from, organic traffic versus social versus others. And then all the way down here, user attributes, last one I want to touch on quickly. But this is just showing then attributes, demographics about your users. So what country are they coming from? What cities are they coming from? You can have gender, you can have interests, and so forth. But then learning about the type of user that's coming to your site. So those are some of the different metrics in Google Analytics and where to find those. So key takeaways, Google Analytics is important for tracking and improving SEO and most of your online marketing. There are other options other than Google Analytics, but Google Analytics is probably by far the most widely used one, and it's free. You want to focus on sessions and users, landing pages, and traffic sources. Like if I had to pick some key ones, I guess events in there when the conversions would be important as well. And then you want to regularly monitor this. So look for patterns, look for changes over time. You'll start to see areas where you can improve on your site. Action items. 1, set up a Google Analytics account for your website, get it connected, familiarize yourself with key reports and metrics. Set up goals. We didn't really touch on that here, but that's within events. You can set up different, actually I don't even think they call them they call them events and then key events, but they're conversion goals. And so it's really highlighting, you want to make, someone filling out a form would be a key event, or someone making a purchase would be a key event. You want to make sure that's set up and tracking, and then regularly review and refine your SEO strategy. So we're going to wrap this up. That is an overview of Google Analytics. If you have questions, leave them in the comments, and then stay tuned. We're going to continue our SEO for Beginners series going forward. Thanks.